Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are, and welcome to our live workshop. Today, we will take a deep dive into 2checkout's newest Shopify connector, learning how it can offer your users a straightforward, seamless checkout experience. We will find out how to set up the new configuration and how to transition from the previous version. We will look at its enhanced capabilities and go over some tips and tricks, all while showing you what the checkout experience will be like for your customers. Our speaker and trainer today is Marius Balcano, Global Senior Product Manager in E-commerce and Ordering Engines at 2checkout. With 15 years experience in product management, Marius has worked on projects in numerous fast-paced industries in IT, telecommunications, banking, and fintech, developing new product opportunities and leading agile teams in successful go-to-market launches. If it's checkout related, Marius knows all the details and good practices, which he will share with us today. Always a pleasure to have you with us, Marius. Welcome.
Thank you, Adela, for your introduction. It's a pleasure and an honor for me to have this workshop today and to be able to tell you about our new Shopify connector built on top of ConvertPlus, which is 2checkout's new ordering engine. And this is a topic that I very much enjoy talking about. We are making today's session a workshop as we want to make it a bit more immersive than a regular presentation. We'll go through the shopper experience, but I'll also take you behind the scenes and play with setting up the connector so we can have a full 360 view. I only have a handful of slides I would like to take you through as an introduction to the topic and to better structure the information that will follow. But before jumping into the presentation itself, I'd like to take a moment to encourage everyone to ask questions throughout the workshop using the webinar controls, as we have a Q&A slot booked at the end, and I'd love to turn this into a dialogue and answer as many questions as possible. A short corporate overview on 2checkout. So our company started officially in 2006 under the name of Avangate. But the story begins a few years back. Originally, our founders were part of a security software company. And as part of that company, they identified an existing market need to sell software products on a global level. And therefore, they decided to make this a business on its own and help other software companies sell globally. Since then, we grew to having 4 global offices with more than 400 employees and serving more than 20,000 active customers. And since 2 months ago, we are part of a larger company now, as we have been acquired by Verifone in August 2020. I mentioned that we have more than 20,000 active customers across the globe from multiple industries and verticals. And you will recognize on this slide worldwide known brands like Kaspersky, Malwarebytes, Bitdefender, and those software companies have very well-known representatives in our current customer base. There are totally different businesses we service with both digital and physical products. You can see Premium Florist here, which is a company selling flowers throughout the Americas. ADEN Business School, providing on-site education and e-learning services like master's and MBA degrees. Or FICO, the company with the most widely used credit risk scoring system for financial services in the US. So to answer the question, why 2checkout? We have a combination of strengths that make us stand out from the crowd. We are a one-stop shop for businesses wanting to sell online. Our e-commerce platform has integrated subscription billing and smart payments. We cover multiple business models, either payments only or reseller, where we also take all the legal and financial responsibilities related to tax collection and remittance. And we also offer a hybrid model between the two. Our coverage is global for both merchants and shoppers, and we also offer international and localized support. And last but not least, we add to the package an optimized solution in terms of conversion and authorization rates, therefore maximizing customer revenues. And this claim is validated by our customer success stories. And getting closer to the main topic in today's workshop, we also have direct third-party integration with more than 120 popular e-commerce platforms. And one of them is Shopify. I think everyone has heard about Shopify nowadays, and for sure all of us connected to this call have. Shopify is a commerce platform that allows merchants to set up an online store and sell their products, whether it's a physical or digital product or also a service. And we have had a Shopify connector built on a previous technology, our legacy hosted cart, for the past years. And currently we have more than 3,300 active merchants using that connector. So now the question would be, okay, if we already have a connector and we have more than 3,000 merchants using it, why change it? And the answer is simple. We all know that when it comes to selling online, one of the most important keywords is conversion rate. And it's important because it translates directly into revenue for both the merchant. We have a dedicated team in product management, which identifies and tests any idea that may lead to conversion rate optimization. Once we do identify and validate these ideas, we pack them and release them. And to give you an example, last time, a couple of months ago, we looked at our shiny new ConvertPlus and did some updates that might seem like minor changes, but we expect them, and they did have a significant impact to the checkout experience. We adjusted things like fonts, colors, form fields. We improved the way that we display the billing information section. We improved the payment method section, selection button, and the list can go on. So we decided to switch the Shopify connector over to ConvertPlus, which is our newest ordering engine, in which we put all our efforts into continuous development. And this is a slide that exemplifies and kind of argues why we did that. So the yellow column is our legacy connector, and the green column is our ConvertPlus connector. And we tried to identify those little details that at the end will make a shopper experience much better and the conversion rate so much higher. So we discussed about UI, and you will see it in the demo that we will do in a couple of minutes, that we started from a UI which was pretty much outdated, because in the past couple of years, we did not do any UI changes on the legacy connector. As I mentioned, all our efforts went into the new ordering engine. So now on ConvertPlus, we have a fresh UI. We have details like a short form, pre-fill. The load time of the new ConvertPlus ordering engine has greatly improved compared to the legacy one. The shopping cart has a responsive design, and also you as a merchant have the possibility to add the logo, even if you are not using the direct ConvertPlus integration, but the Shopify connector. Also, localized experience. This is a huge conversion rate optimization technique, to have an experience which is localized for the shoppers. And we do offer multiple currencies and more than twice the number of languages that were supported in our previous connector. In terms of payment methods, we also have an update here. The previous connector supported credit cards and PayPal. On the new connector, we are adding on top of that some local payment methods like local cards with installments or boleto bancário for Brazil, and also bank transfer. And this is a list that we in 2checkout we will continuously expand in the upcoming future. So there will be more and more local payment methods available that will be seamlessly integrated into the Shopify connector as well. Another line in this table goes towards test orders, and this is something that we received feedback from the merchants that previously used the legacy connector. That is a feature that is very much requested, and in this new connector we have also checked this this line. Refunds can still be done as they were also available in the legacy connector. The new one also has support of the fraud prevention and risk management tools that all our merchants do. 3D security is supported, and also from a PCI compliance point of view, we have the lowest level of recommended, the lowest recommended level, which is SAQA. Okay, those were just some introductory slides, and I tried to go through them quite fast because I think we should spend most of our time today in a live demo. And in this demo, I will go through a couple of topics. First of all, I will demonstrate how to install the ConvertPlus connector, the new one, how to configure it and how to test it, then how to enable it to accept payments. I will show you the update on your customer's experience, and also I will give you some tips and tricks towards the end of the demo. So stay tuned by the end. Okay, I will switch to my browser now, and hopefully everyone sees my browser. Yes. Okay, we will start our demo journey, let's say, in our 2checkout Knowledge Center. And in our 2checkout Knowledge Center, if you look for Shopify, you will find a few articles. As I mentioned, you will find the previous connector, which is still live and it's still being used by all those merchants. And you can find also this one, which is the 2checkout ConvertPlus connector, and this is the new connector I was talking to you about. I will mention here that the first article or the first two articles, these will still be in the Knowledge Center for a limited time. We'll most likely move them to an archive later. But starting from this particular article, we have detailed here every single step that you as a merchant need to take in order to integrate this new connector. And I'll just scroll down for you to have a quick glimpse of how this documentation looks like. It's packed with screenshots and details, and it's a stepped approach so that everyone is able to follow the instruction. There's no coding required into configuration, as you will soon see. And from this one, I will point out to the first step, which is installing the 2checkout ConvertPlus connector. And we have an URL, which is linked here. So going to the URL, you as a merchant that already have a Shopify store will be directed to choose and to log into that particular store. And for this demo, I will use this store, the fake store. This is the first screen that you see as part of the integration flow. You are about to install the 2checkout ConvertPlus connector, and you need to click on Install Payment Provider. And after you do so, you will be directed within your store, in our case, the fake store, in the settings area. It's better if I show you. In the settings area within payments. And this is where the actual configuration takes place. Okay, what you can see here is the previous connector. So this one, which is called 2checkout, is the previous one. We'll leave it here for the time being. I'll show you how to activate the new one, and then we'll deactivate the old one. Okay, so the 2checkout ConvertPlus, this is the new connector. I think it was already active, but if it was not, you will see that this is the account information section. And in this section, you need to fill in your merchant code and your secret word. These are information that you can get from the merchant control panel, the 2checkout merchant control panel. And I will quickly try to log in to that. To show you exactly where you can find this information. Okay, as this is a test account, you can see that the account is in restricted mode, and there are a few notifications to the top of the screen, and don't mind the negative balance. But just to focus on the information that are required for the integration, on the left-hand side menu under integration, you have the webhooks and API section. And in this section, you can find the following information. Merchant code is present in the API card, and you can simply click on this button to copy it, and then you go back to the Shopify setting page and you paste it here. Also, you can scroll down and you get to the secret word section, and in this section, the one that you need, they are usually the same, so they're not different one to the other, but just to be certain, you should copy the billing secret word. This is a long string, and you have the option to click to copy to clipboard, and then you go over to Shopify and you paste it here. And this is all the information that Shopify requires to have on their side in order for the integration to happen. Now, there's one more thing that you need to do in the merchant control panel. And this is, if you scroll down, everything is present in this section under integration, webhooks, and API. If you go further down, you will find the redirect URL card, which you need to click to enable. So you need to have the enable return after sale checkbox marked. And then in the return method, out of the two options, you need to select header redirect. This is a configuration that will allow us to redirect the shoppers that will land into the shopping cart back to your website after the payment was confirmed. So this is why we need to check and enable this option here. And this is everything that you need to consider in the merchant control panel. I do have one other remark to make. I will have a slide later in my presentation, but the other requirement that needs to happen in the 2checkout merchant control panel is activating your account. And in order to activate your account, you need to follow the information that is available on the screen as part of the onboarding process for any new account. Okay, perfect. So we're back to Shopify. In account information, we've pasted the merchant code and the secret word. Scrolling down, you can see that the test mode is enabled, and you need to click to save the this configuration here. Okay. Now, this is how the payment provider section looks like when both of the connectors are active. So if you are coming from the context in which you were using until now our legacy Shopify connector, you will need to turn this one off. So in order to do so, you need to click on Manage and click on Deactivate 2checkout. Don't worry about pressing the red button. Click on it. And now if you look at the status of the page, you can see that under alternative payment methods, the 2checkout ConvertPlus connector is now active. I would highly recommend when you start doing this configuration to start from the Knowledge Center, because here we have at every point in time we have the up-to-date documentation. There will be in the upcoming weeks, probably there will be a change in here in which the 2checkout ConvertPlus connector will be moved under third-party providers. But as soon as that is happening, the documentation will be updated as well. Okay, now with this being active, we can move to the online store and see what is the actual shopper experience with this new connector. We have a dummy store, a fake store, as I named it. And in this fake store, we also have a fake product, of course. And this is the only product that our stall has to sell. And if you click on it, you have the option to add to the cart. But it doesn't really serve us right now. For the sake of the demo, we can simply buy this particular product. And this, after you press the checkout button and the buy button, you are being directed as you have until now. So this is the standard Shopify checkout experience. You have been directed to a three-step checkout flow. This is actually a cart flow. The checkout is later, and you'll see what I mean. And let's place a test order. So I will use my email address, and I will use the John Doe acronym, and I will also show you why. Just for the sake of the text, I will use some fake data in here. I'll stick with the country, Romania. So we're using John Doe, and there's a reason why we do that. I mentioned in the presentation that one of the new features that this connector comes with is the support for our test ordering engine. And I will open up right now to show you another Knowledge Center article that you can find if you look for test payments or test payment methods. And in here, you can see that you have the option, while that particular checkbox is checked, you have the option of doing tests with various cards, dummy cards, of course. And if you use the card holder name, one of these options, you get a different response for each and every one. So for John Doe, we should be getting a successful authorization. If you use, however, Mona Doe as a card holder name, you will get insufficient funds. Another example would be, for example, Angela Doe leads you to an expired card scenario. So this is why we use John Doe in here. And we use it under shipping address because, and I will show you when we get to the cart. I mentioned before that ConvertPlus also has the pre-fill option already available. So basically, all the information that you see here that has been pre-filled has been filled in by the shopper on the Shopify, in the Shopify cart flow, will also be available in our checkout page. Okay, we continue to shopping. We only have one shipping method set up for this particular demo store, which is a standard shipping method. And if you click on continue to payment, you will get to the last step, which is available on the Shopify side. And this is the card that is related to the new 2checkout ConvertPlus connector. Due to the fact that this is the only payment provider enabled on this particular account, there's no selector in front of it. If you were to have this one and also the legacy 2checkout one enabled at the same time, you as a shopper could select which one you want to use in order to finalize the payment. We don't have that complexity here, so clicking on complete order will take you to the next step of the flow, and this is the checkout page. In the checkout page, this is the new one. I mentioned that there's the possibility to update the logo, and this is the logo that I chose for the purpose of this demo. This is something that you can also update in the merchant control panel, and I'll show you later on how you can do that. You have the cart content area in which you have a reference number linked back to the Shopify, to the actual cart content back in Shopify. You have the total amount that needs to be paid. This is present here only because the test ordering engine checkbox has been checked over on Shopify, and this is why we also see one single payment method. If we go into a live order session, you will also see PayPal here, or if you're in Brazil, you will probably see the third payment option also available. Down below, you can see that the billing details and the card details are present. And the billing details, as I mentioned, the fields are already pre-filled with the information that the shopper has entered on in Shopify. So there's no redundancy here. There's no need for the shopper to fill in that information once more. You can see that the rest of information is available if the shopper chooses the company mode. However, ConvertPlus, in order to increase that conversion rate, uses a short form, which means that the form itself only requests the customer information, which is mandatory during the payment process in order for us to finalize the payment. So we'll not be requesting here the address or anything else. This section might be different from one country to the other. For example, in the US, you will need to also enter the zip code, but that again will be pre-filled based on the information that the shopper entered on the Shopify side. I skipped the header of the shopping cart. Here you have two selectors, or the shoppers have two selectors. This is the currency selector. So whenever you pick a different currency, there's an automatic currency converter that takes place into the in the cart, as you can see. And also, if you choose to place the order in a different language, you can have the entire cart localized. And this is a huge advantage in terms of conversion rate. The cart will boot up based on your browser language. So if your browser is set to German, then this is what the shopper, if the shopper's language is set to German, that this is how he will see the cart when he will be redirected to this page. And this is again been done to optimize conversion. Okay, card number. Let's use one from that page I showed you, and this is the Visa one. You can see that there's already the shopping cart has identified that this is a Visa card number, so there's no additional selector for the card brand. You have the expiration date. This is a tabular form, so the shopper can navigate using the tab key. Okay, and now we place the order. Let's hope that we don't have a expire session because I talk too much. So the payment has been processed, and now, as I mentioned when we were over on the merchant control panel, by having that return URL configured, that option, at the end of the payment process, the shopper is returned to the store. You have a payment confirmation screen here, and he can continue the shopping, continue to browse through all the items that the store has to provide for him. And this is the full shopper experience. Now, back to the merchant experience. Once a shopper has placed an order, back into the Shopify admin portal, you as a merchant will be able to see that order in here. And this is it. This is the order that we've just placed. And this is the fake product that we bought for 100 euros. Okay. There is, however, one more thing that I can show you here. Let me switch to date because I used my email address. You can see that there are some emails that have been received. And one of them is this one. This is an email that has been sent by us to the shopper. And this is basically the payment confirmation email. This is the confirmation that the payment has been received. And this is the amount that has been withdrawn from his credit card or whatever payment method he would use. So this is the first one. The second one that you can see here, this is, I know it looks like a spam, but this is just because I chose this unfortunate name for the store. This is an email that Shopify is sending the shopper, in which it says thank you for the purchase and that the order is ready to be shipped and the fulfillment will be done through the Shopify store. And it also have an order, has an order summary. And the third email that I would like to show you is this one. This is an email that you receive as a merchant whenever a shopper places an order through your Shopify store. So this is again sent by Shopify, but it's sent not to the shopper, but to the merchant. In this particular case, the email address set both for the merchant and the shopper is the same. So that's why you see all the three emails in one inbox. And this is something that you can configure in the Shopify admin portal as well. Okay. This is everything that the actual connector can provide. So everything is very simple. I promised that I will show you during the demo how you can switch to making a real payment. We're not going to place that particular real payment as part of the demo, but just keep in mind that once you test your checkout flow with the new Shopify connector, remember to go back to settings, remember to go to payment, and then under the 2checkout ConvertPlus alternative payment method, if you click on edit, the only thing that you need to do is to uncheck the test mode and save it. And having this done will make your store open for shoppers, and you will start processing payments. The other thing that I mentioned that I will show you are some tips and tricks. And for these tips and tricks, I will go back to your merchant control panel, which is logged in with the same account that we tied to the Shopify store that I showed you before. And there are two things that I want to show you here. First of all, under setup in ordering options, you have the possibility for it, it's loading. Excuse me, under interface templates, you have the possibility to look under your ConvertPlus template, and you can customize it. And by customizing it, you have the option to change the logo of the template. This is basically another sneak peek that I will be showing you. And this is a feature that we are investigating right now into developing and giving you the option to change the look and feel of the entire checkout page. But for the time being, you can update the logo. This can be done from this section here. Under logo, you have the option to drag and drop a different logo. and this is the logo that would be available in the cart on that particular template. But what I would recommend for the time being to do is to not use that particular section, but go under settings, under account information, and under account information, you have the company logo section here, in which you can do the same. So you can choose a file which is either a JPG, GIF, or a PNG, and you can use this particular. You can upload a file, and we have some recommendation for the file that can be uploaded. So it's best to be used with a white or transparent background in order for the logo to look good both on the shopping cart page as well as in the email that we send afterwards. So this is the if you choose to upload the logo here, the logo will also be used on the email that we send afterwards. Okay. I'd like to go back to the presentation right now because I think we have 20 more minutes. I just have a couple more slides just to summarize everything that I showed you so far. And then I would like to also leave some room for some questions if you have any, so I can help you with any information you might need to find out from this workshop. Okay, so basically how to install the ConvertPlus connector. In Shopify, under settings, in payment providers, you just need to activate the ConvertPlus connector in the alternative payment methods section. Everything is detailed in the documentation, so there's no need to take notes at this point in time. You can simply find them in the Knowledge Center. And at the same time, remember that for the best results, you should disable the legacy 2checkout connector if this one was available to you until now, and if your website was configured and this is active, so that the shoppers that go through your checkout flow will not have the option to choose between the two. And we recommend that because we know for certain that the new Shopify connector will generate higher conversion rates than the old one. This is the slide I previously mentioned. Please remember, if you are just starting with 2checkout and you are just installing the connector for the first time, you will have to go through the activation flow. And this is how the merchant control panel will look like if you are a new merchant and you have just created your account. Your account will be in demo mode, so you will be able to go through setup, marketing tools, and every option that we have here to the left-hand side menu. If you will be using Shopify, there's no need for you to add your products because the products themselves will be added onto the Shopify side, and through 2checkout, you will only be finalizing the payment. There's no need to create the buy links because this is something that the connector does automatically. What you need to do is to activate your account. So have in mind that you need to fulfill this third step with the account activation in order for you to be able to place real orders, or for the shoppers to be able to place real orders that will be processed through the connector through 2checkout. Once you do that, and once your connector is configured, once your account is activated, and once you enable the real orders through the 2checkout connector, this is the shopper experience that you will get. The connector is the one on the left-hand side, and once the shopper does the step of completing the order and moves from Shopify over to our ConvertPlus shopping cart, this is what he sees. It's a one-step shopping cart. It has multiple payment methods embedded here. So you can see here that you have also credit card and PayPal in this particular example. It does have pre-fill on the billing details section, and basically everything that the shopper needs to handle in this screen is to enter his credit card details or the payment method details and place the order. And with this was my final slide. I think we have like 15 more minutes in which we
have time. Thank you, Marius. Thank you. Yes, we are able to take some questions, and actually, great session. Everyone was curious about what you were showing us. All right, let's dive right into it. I know that you showed us that the new configuration has the geolocation capabilities, and it can adapt the language in the cart based on the user's browser language. We'd be curious here in the audience to find out if the checkout language can also be changed manually by the merchant if he so desires. Let's say there are some specific cases for this.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. So changing the language manual is an option that you as a shopper have within the ConvertPlus shopping cart. We do look for GeoIP. We do look for, in order to localize the content, we do look at the browser language. So the language is there is a predefined language once the shopper boots the cart, opens the cart. So he gets redirected from Shopify. But if he chooses to select a different language, that's really not a problem. He just uses that selector to the top of the screen and choose one of the language that he prefers.
It's very good to know. Thank you. I know we were talking about Shopify today, but we saw so many exciting features. Our audience is curious whether they could have such integrations for other platforms, not just Shopify.
Yes. So the short answer is yes. And actually, within the last couple of months, we have already released a few more connectors, or there are different names for it. So you might hear about them under the name of connectors. You might hear about them called integrations or configurations or extensions or plugins. It depends from one e-commerce platform to the other and what the naming is. But we already have new connectors released in the last couple of months, as I mentioned, for WooCommerce. We have a connector for Magento 1 and for Magento 2. We have a connector for PrestaShop, Shopify, of course, the one that we demoed today. And I think there are some more coming before the end of the year. And one of them, if I remember correctly, is WHMCS. And of course, we will continue with this trend throughout the next year, because our goal is to give all our merchants the latest experience and the biggest upgrade in conversion rate that we can. And we can only do this by upgrading to the latest technology that we use.
Great, good to know. We'll be looking out for those announcements from your team. Now let's see a different one. Okay, so we saw the pretty parts. Let's also discuss the harder parts. We're getting told that there was recently a bug in Shopify when, well, the platform, let's just say, had some problems catching orders, and it was registering them as abandoned cart orders. Somehow the payments were going through. Do you have any update on this situation? Has Shopify fixed their bug, or where are we at here?
Yes, I'm aware of that bug that we encountered. So what I can say is that at this point in time, there is no open bug linked to Shopify or to our 2checkout connector. I cannot speak in Shopify's name, of course. That bug that you mentioned, or someone in the audience mentioned, that was something that indeed we experienced after we released this new connector. But right now, there is that issue is not present anymore. And what we can say is that every time that we get a bug report from one of the merchants that we use, we work with, we do our best to try to identify the cause, the root cause, and try to fix it in due time, because we know that it will prevent maybe the shoppers fulfilling the orders on their side. But this particular bug, this was actually something that ended up in a different status being marked for the orders, but the orders were going through. It's unfortunate, but it does sometimes happen. What we can do is to ensure everybody that we are working to fixing anything that you might be reporting at any point in time. But right now, there's no bug.
Wonderful, wonderful news. Okay, I think we have one more. Let's see. Oh, people are remembering probably your previous presentation with our other ordering engine with the inline checkout, and they're curious if there are any plans to update that one for Shopify as well.
That's a good question, actually. So we plan to do it. So we, under the new ordering engines umbrella, within 2checkout, we have the ConvertPlus connector. We have a different, we have the ConvertPlus shopping cart, excuse me, which is a hosted shopping cart. We have the inline cart experience that can be configured as a direct integration. And we also have an API integration, which is using a 2Pages library so that merchants are able to give a more customized look and feel to the shopping cart itself. For the Shopify connector, out of these three, only the ConvertPlus integration is available right now, and this is the standard path that Shopify allows us to go towards. However, there are different connectors that for which we are allowed, and we were able to build in the other, let's say the other options, so inline and 2Pages, and we will continue to try and add them to the Shopify connector as well. But I'm unable to give a date at this point in time. It's still to be investigated and confirmed by our team.
That's good to know. That's good to know. We are monitoring your updates. Okay, I think we've covered most of them. A lot of people are asking us about the recording. Yes, you will be able to. You will receive the follow-up email tomorrow with the recording and the presentation. Fear not. It will also include Marius's links from the Knowledge Center. Thank you very much.
I also have another thing I would like to add, and it goes along with the presentation. So one other reason for which we decided to update this connector to the new ordering engine is the fact that every single feature or enhancement we put in this ordering engine will be available seamlessly for the merchants that are using the new connector as well. So there's no need to do another configuration. There's no need to do another update. Everything will be available to you as a merchant while as soon as we release it. And one example to this would be the fact that, again, a couple of months back, I think we released support for cart analytics for ConvertPlus. So within Merchant Control Panel, you as a merchant, even if you're using the Shopify connector, so not a direct integration, you have the option to go into the analytics section. You will find it there, and you have all the information available in Knowledge Center. We might link those articles as well. I think that's also a good idea. So you can go into the analytics section, and you can configure just by introducing your analytics ID, and we have direct configuration with Google Analytics, or you can push the cart analytics data over to any third-party analytics provider via Google Tag Manager integration. These two options are available in the Merchant Control Panel, and we have Knowledge Center articles for both of them. So be curious and look for them, and you can have by doing that, you can have the full checkout funnel analytics available to you.
All right, thank you so much, Marius. Guys, I think this wraps it up for us